Well, hello everyone, it's Kari here again with you from sunshineinmypocket.com. I'm excited to be here to share this really cute card. It's a simple one, but it is so fun to create. I am going to be using the Snowman stamp set as well as these NoFuss instant masks. Now it's hard to see on video what these are, but as soon as I take the mask off and show you how to use them, I think you'll understand how awesome these masks are, and I'm really in love with them. I'm also going to be using this It's a Snowflake Mask stencil, and there's a couple pieces to the stencil, so you could use this one here or the one where you create a color on the snowflake. And I'm going to show you the difference of those in just a minute, but first let's go ahead and stamp out our snowman. Now I am going to be using this set of arms. There are a variety of different arms you can choose. This one, he's kind of clasping his hands together. There are different hands that you could put something in his hand, so he could be holding something. But today I wanted to use these clasped hands, and so I'm going to stamp them first because they're going to be in front of the snowman. Now what I'm going to do is take that NoFuss instant mask and take the one where the clasped hands are and put the mask right over those hands. Now if I had to cut this mask myself, I think it would drive me nuts because those little arms are really thin. But having the NoFuss instant mask is really awesome and a shortcut. So I love it. And now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the snowman over top. So this is going to look like it's behind those hands. So whatever you want closest to the front, you're going to stamp first and then mask off. And whatever's closest to the back or furthest to the back, you'll stamp second. So now it's going to look a little funny here, but when I reveal all of these and remove all the masks, you'll see what that is going to look like. I'm going to put the mask on top of the snowman now too. And look at those skinny little legs. So that's really awesome that this is cut for you. So I'm going to put that over the top so we can do a snowflake now. So if you chose this snowflake mask, it would leave the snowflake white and color around the outside. But if you chose this snowflake, you would color the snowflake a color and the rest of it would be left white. So let me show you this card I made using the mask of the snowflake. So it left the snowflake white, and then I ink blended the blue all the way around. So that's what that looks like. So today I'm going to use this other one here, and we're going to create a colored snowflake. And the rest of the outside of the card will be white. I'm just going to tape this on for today, and I'm going to use some Distress Oxides in a variety of purples. So I've got milled lavender here, and that's going to be the first color. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with some Villainous Potion. I want it to be a darker purple around the edges, so I'm starting off the stencil and ink blending slowly onto the snowflake there. And I'll just keep adding ink a little bit at a time until I get a really nice purple, and it's going to be lighter in the center, darker in the outside. And I'll go back over through the colors once again to get a really nice blend. Now here it doesn't look like much, but wait until I take the stencil off and you'll see how pretty this blend looks. Now that didn't take me much time at all, and look at that, the snowflake is so beautiful, but my favorite part is coming up right now, and that's removing those masks. When you remove the mask, that's when you're going to start to see this magic happen. So I'm going to be very careful to remove these because I want to reuse them, and you can reuse them until they don't stick anymore. So you actually get quite a bit of use out of these NoFuss masks, and there's about 4 sheets of them in each package. So it's a really great deal. So here's what we've got so far, and now it's time to color our snowman. I'm going to use some dark browns to color his stick arms and stick legs, and I'm just going to do this very simply, starting with E57 and blending that out with E55. And it's a very easy and small area to color, so I'll just take a little bit of the E53 to finish that off. So see how quick and easy that is? And then I'll just go ahead and do the same thing to color the legs. For the carrot nose, I'm bringing in a little YR04 and blending that out with a little YR02 for the cutest little carrot nose. I'm using the N7 to darken up his eyes just a little bit, and that's also what I'm going to use for his kohl buttons. N7, then blend out with N5, and then go in with some N3. Look at how simple this is to color. For his hat, I decided to use some greens to start out with a few lighter greens and blending them out with even lighter greens. And then I'm going to also use some blues for his scarf and his hat. I've got YG07, YG03, and YG01 for the greens. Then for the blues, I'll start with my darkest blue, which is the BG18, and I'm just going to color some of the darkest areas of the scarf, including the outside edges, and then I'll blend that through with a lighter green, BG07, and then I'll bring in an even lighter, or I'm sorry, blue. If I said green, I meant blue. And the last color is the BG05. Now through the magic of editing, I'm going to skip through to the hat portion, and then I also use some N7s to color up his shoes. And you can see I'm still using my very favorite way to color, which is starting with the dark, blending it out with the mid-tone, and then using the lightest tone to blend all of that through. And then if I feel like it needs to be darker, I'll go back in with all the colors again to darken up some of the areas. For the little pom-pom on the hat, I'm using little tiny dots to color that with the mid-tone and the darker blues. And that just creates a really fun looking pom-pom with some texture to it. I thought his socks would be cute to be that dark blue to match his scarf and hat. This is a very color coordinated snowman. And then I'll go in with the shoes, again using those neutral grays. So this is a pretty simple image to color. I left a lot of the coloring in because I do get a lot of requests to do that. And I just thought it is fun to see how this all comes together. You can see I still use the same process on the shoes, making some darker areas and leaving some nice highlights for the lighter areas to blend through. So N7, N5, N3, and I think I even go in with the N1 to finish it off around the edges. Very, very cute little snowman and very, very cute large shoes. I colored the soles of his shoes green because why not? And I thought it looked really cute. And now it's time to color the snowman himself. I'm going to use some really light purples to add a little bit of shadow to the snowman, and that'll just make the whites look even whiter. So these are the lightest purples that I have in my collection, and then I'll blend that through with the colorless blender as well. And look how he just pops right off the paper there. Now sometimes on these images I like to add a little color to their eyes, so I'm bringing in a BG01 to give him some icy blue eyes. I think it's really cute for a snowman, and look how cute. Oh, he makes me smile. All right, so now for the sentiment. I thought "You Melt My Heart" was the best sentiment to use with this. It's very, very cute. I'm going to use the Frame Labels die set to cut out a little label, and then I'll stamp the "You Melt My Heart" sentiment using some of that darker purple oxide ink. It's going to match perfectly with our snowman and our snowflake. One of the great things about oxide inks is they stay wet just a little bit longer. So for that, I am going to use some clear embossing powder over the top and clear heat set this so that it doesn't smear, and it also gives it a little bit of shine and embossed look. To make it stand out from the background just a little bit more, I'm going to go around the edges with that darkest blue that we used for the snowman, and that will make it just pop right off the background. I will use some foam tape or foam adhesive to pop this up, and that's going to give it some more dimension, and then we'll have a little purple frame around the entire thing as well. So I'll glue this to that purple cardstock. It's just going to have a tiny bit of that around the edges there, just like so. And then I'll glue that to our card base, and I'm using a 110-pound cardstock for the card base, so it's nice and sturdy. Very, very cute. Now to add the sentiment with some foam adhesive. And to finish off the whole thing, I'm going to use some silver shiny pearls. I'll use 3 per area and just kind of create a triangle look to them. That's what I think is the most pleasing to the eye. And I'll just add those with some liquid adhesive. That's going to finish off our card today. Now look how cute this little snowman is. He is adorable with his hands in front there. I love him. I hope you enjoyed this video and the card process as well. I will link and list all the products I used in the description below, so go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much for stopping by today. It was a really great card session. I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration, so I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.